Thanks for listening to the AZ12 podcast. I am your host, Mike Luke, joined by Jason Shear. Hello, Jason Shear. You are coming to us via a road trip at your family's house.
Yes, remotely, because
Yes.
I got some work going on, restoration work in the house. I'll be here.
Okay. Well, you know what? Yeah, you mess with the restoration, you get the glove. You know the drill around here. You love to get the drill. All right, we got all of our young bucks in here already. The Prims, the Josephs of the world. All right, we're going to get to your guys' points. But first, we need to talk a little bit about Arizona, Iowa State. I know people don't want to hear this. Oh, the V-neck, very good V-neck. I know people don't want to hear this, but Iowa State's better than Arizona. They just are. Watching that game in McHale, and again, we'll get to it. I understand everyone's concerns, but watching that game in McHale, Iowa State was clearly the better team. I mean, they were missing the 400 from Wisconsin, and they were still kind of in control of that game until Love hit that shot, blah, 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 blah. Iowa State's really good, Shear. That's where I'm going to start with that, and then we'll work backwards, and we'll get to our criticisms, everyone. You have my word.
Yeah, I mean, I think on a neutral court, it would be pretty close. I mean, Iowa State would probably be favored by like a point on a neutral court. Yeah, it would be.
What was Arizona favored in McHale?
A 3.5, I think.
Was it 3.5?
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, they'd be favored by about a point on a neutral court. Okay. You know, and I think there's two things. I think it's okay to think that Iowa State is better than Arizona. Like, I don't think that's the end of the world, because I think Iowa State, well, we know Iowa State's one of the 10 best teams in the country. And right now, Arizona isn't. I also don't read too much into this game at all. I just don't. I never thought Arizona was going to win, and then Iowa State loses a couple games in a row. Altenberger said the first 15 minutes of this game was the best defense Iowa State's played all year. He just said that in the presser. I mean, it was kind of a perfect storm. It never, I think more of the next two games than I do that one, if that makes sense.
Okay, now let's see here. All right, now Joseph, the great Joseph, he says, I don't get why we can't critique without some fans calling for his head. That is my biggest annoyance, honestly. There's a lot of things, and again, I've been listen, you know what always cracks me up? I always get people that are like, oh, Mike Luke, you just carry water for Tommy Lloyd. I have been more critical of Tommy Lloyd than anybody in the media. If you want to call me media, maybe I'm not media, probably not. But I know the Trey Townsend thing for the longest time, not good. Having no other ball handler coming into the season, not good. I don't love the player accountability. Yeah, I get all that, but we're still lucky to have him. No, Joseph, I'm fine with that, but it's the people, Joseph says, but Mike, you get overly defensive to the critiquing. No. Critique all you want. I'm very hard on him. My point, though, is just when people are like, oh, well, Lute wouldn't have done this, or Lute wouldn't have done that, or we need, this isn't the guy to lead the program. That's where it's like, all right, let's have a real chat here. That's where I'm at.
Well, it's what I said the other day. There's no in between, right? Like, we could criticize. We criticize Tommy, and I know people think I'm soft on Tommy as well, but I said all season that the roster construction is not good. It's not good, right? Like, I've made it very clear. He missed evals. That is very clear. But I don't say to myself, well, he missed evals and the roster construction isn't great. That's enough for me. Let's get him out of here. Because I know better. I know how college basketball works, and I know that when you look at the list of coaches, there's very few that are Tommy is a guarantee. He is. He just is. You know that every year they're going to be in the top 3, 4, compete to win the conference title. They'll probably, hopefully, get out of the first weekend or whatever and make a run. Eventually, I realize people want to make an Elite Eight. There are very few guaranteed coaches in college basketball.
Yes. All right. Now, Steve O. Spy says, after playing its first Big 12 season, I believe the program has never been more better. Yeah, I would agree with that. The remaining games are formality. Just finish healthy. Let's go and bear down. I would agree with that. Okay. Now, let's talk about, we're going to get to some of the critiques here, and then we're going to talk a little bit big picture. First thing that we need to talk about is, I don't blame Tommy for the Trey Townsend miss eval, but it was not a miss eval, whatever you want to call it. Trey Townsend stinks. There's no other way to put it. He's not good enough to really contribute at this level. I don't think anybody could have foreseen him being this bad, though. I
didn't think he'd be very good. Like, we had different expectations for him, but I didn't think he'd be like this. I mean, he's barely playable in a lot of games, and that's where at Arizona they didn't need him to be a superstar. They needed him to be a 10-5 efficient guy who tried hard and defended. And I realize his numbers are like 8-4, but when you see him, Like it's not.
It's not
I don't
what
feel
it's supposed to look like.
No, it's not. I just want it to look better, if that makes sense.
Yeah. Let's see here. Well, Shane Simmons, you kind of do, Mike. Every critique of all right. I'm glad you brought this up, Shane. Every critique of Tommy is immediately followed by a but. It's a double standard between now and Tommy and how Tommy is critiqued by Brent Brennan. Well, if Brent Brennan was going 9-3 each season, that would have get the same critique. Brent Brennan just finished one of the worst coaching performances I've ever seen at the U of A. He doesn't get that benefit of the doubt. If you win what Tommy's won, you're going to get some benefit of the doubt. That to me is the difference.
And there's a few responses to my comment where in the comments where they're like, we want a Final Four. And I remember, I don't think he'll mind. You remember Sean Miller's staff, Ryan Reynolds was here, right? Mm-hmm. He was the Dobo. He's with them at Xavier. And we talked one night for a couple hours and he goes, Sheer, he goes, I think the one thing, he didn't mean this in like a negative way. The one thing fans will never realize is how effing hard it is to make a Final Four. Right. It isn't just like, yeah, we want a Final Four. If you don't make it, you're fired. He's like, look at some of the best coaches in the game and how long it took them to make a Final Four. It is not easy to make a Final Four. If there was a recipe to do it, every coach would do it. It's hard. Right. And so you can't just fire. It's like, do you fire a coach because he didn't win the Super Bowl?
No, right, exactly. No, Joseph, here's where I disagree with you. Joseph, I do appreciate Joseph, and I appreciate the Young Bucks. It was funny. Some guy asked me on Twitter, he DMs me, and he's like, how old are you? I'm not going to tell my age. I'm getting old now. But he's like, you don't look much older than these kids that you're putting down for being Gen Zers. And I took that very, very...
By the way, your terms that you've been going back with Kobe and Wilbur, the only one I knew was Link. I didn't know the other ones.
I don't know, Shrink? Or
Shrink
whatever.
And Expand, never heard of that. Link,
never heard of it
because there's a really funny thing that happened on game day.
Yeah, I know. I Kobe gave me in on that one.
Yeah,
so
that one was funny, but the other stuff.
All right, now, so I'm not going to compare Brent Brennan and Tommy Lloyd because, well, I mean, come on, we're better. We are better than that. Now, here is where I think it's fair to criticize. Listen, I don't think anybody could have thought Townsend was going to be that bad, but I will say this: Tommy has definitely pulled the plug a lot quicker. I do think that they sacrificed some wins by playing him so much. What I'm going to go on more on Tommy, though, as far as a critique is, first of all, you went into the season with one ball handler. That was one thing that we both said that was not good enough. You couldn't go into the season with one ball handler, and that's exactly what happened. He went into the season with one ball handler, Sheer.
Yeah, complete miseval. Hate it.
Right.
We knew it at the time. We know it now.
Right.
Like it is. And I've said there's going to be a game where it will be their downfall because you're going to see teams blitz Jaden Bradley. Iowa State did it. They did it really well. And to Jaden's credit, he was more aggressive offensively and got around it in the second half. But Kansas is probably going to do it Saturday. He's not good enough to do it. Whatever team in the tournament Arizona faces is going to blitz Jaden Bradley and get the ball out of his hands because it's common sense when you look at the way the roster's made.
Yes, and that's another one. And KJ Lewis hasn't gotten better. KJ Lewis he's not gotten better. I don't know what else to say. Hey, Jesse Bridges, watch your mouth. Not quite. Watch your mouth, Jesse Bridges. Watch your mouth. But I don't know. I don't know what else to really say. KJ Lewis is another guy we got to talk about. Oh, come on, Bear Down Child. You guys are wrong. Trey Townsend was that conference's player of the year.
Yeah, he was good. I mean, I understand.
He wasn't the little white dude. And again, go look at his numbers against Power 5 teams, not just the tournament run. He was basically dropping 19 and 10 on every team.
Mike. I'm actually going to defend you, Mike, which I do very rarely.
Yeah, go ahead.
Against everyone's favorite team, the Illini, second game of the season, he had 19 and 10. First game of the season against Ohio State, he had 17, 9, and 4.
Right.
Xavier, he dropped 28, 7, and 6.
And that's where Sean said we just had no answer for him.
Yeah. Michigan State, 17.
Yeah.
Then you fast forward to the NCAA tournament. Kentucky, 17 and 12. In North Carolina State, I know he shot poorly, but still 30 and 13.
Right. So there's the numbers are what they are. I mean, you can say what you want and he stinks, obviously, but the numbers are what they are.
The biggest thing is, I think this is going to sound like me calling Trey Townsend stupid, but whatever. So Tommy has said that Oakland ran plays every time down court. They would stop and call a play. And he said a few times that basically Trey has had difficulty adapting to there are no plays with Tommy. It's instinct and intelligence and movement. And Trey just doesn't vibe with his style of play. Like he hasn't been able to kind of go and adapt to that.
Yeah, I mean, it is what it is. Okay, now let's talk a little bit all right, now let's get to some of the roster nitpicking. But first, we've got to talk about something that Jesse Bridges has been talking about nonstop, and he is right about this. Yes, Prim, we'll get to that in a minute. Yes. All right. Green Valley Decorative Rock. Green Valley Decorative Rock. Okay. I don't think Cody's listening, but if he is, who cares? All right, Cody, where are you? Cody. Welcome to the Rock, Green Valley Decorative Rock. All right, now most of these young bucks in the comments probably don't know who Sean Connery is. If they put, hey, let me ask you this: if you put Sean Connery next to Lute Olson, would it be 50-50 on if they would be able to pick out who was who?
I think they would know Lute more than Sean Connery. I don't think there's any chance they know Sean Connery. None.
Remember when we were at a watch party, and I think it was Kobe L. Thiel, the great Kobe L. Thiel, and he didn't know who Joe Pesci was, and I was like,
I had a friend, I'm going to call him out. He watches the show. We were in Vegas years ago, and he was like, yeah, I've never seen, what do you mean Goodfellas? I've never seen whatever. And I lost my mind. Like, I lost my mind.
I don't know what else to say. Okay, but either way, that's what it is. Either way, Green Valley Decorative Rock, we need to push back against the scurrilous rumors that have been infiltrating this city for far too long. Green Valley Decorative Rock is in Tucson, everybody. We need to go there. You need to go there and check it out. Green Valley Decorative Rock, 50+ locally sourced landscaping materials, serving residents and contractors. Again, up to Oracle, west to Marana, east to Sierra Vista, Benson, south to Nogales. And if you buy enough of their stuff, they'll bring you a bunch of stuff. Okay, now, or they're bringing it for free. And next, RJ's Frozen Cactus. All right, now, it was an awesome showing there. We very much appreciate it. Sheer got cold feet, didn't show up, so is what it is.
Not true.
But, all right. Either way, it was awesome. Probably had about 35 to 40 people there. You guys were all great. Now, we're going to be there. We're going to be there again this coming Saturday. We'll see. Sherry, you actually going to come this time?
Yeah, I'll be there. The girls are coming too. So you might want to bring like a hand wrapping mic. So one of the girls, can't be sick.
Yeah. But either way, it was awesome. Again, got all kinds of good drink specials, everything. And that parking lot is so big that if Dennis Walsh were to ever come, he could land his private jet in the parking lot. That's how big it is. Either way, RJ's Frozen Cactus. Wop, 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 wop. Okay, now let's get back to some other players, and I think you can critique some of these guys. KJ Lewis hasn't gotten any better. He had that nice little stretch where he was playing pretty good ball. KJ Lewis, at the end of the day was, KJ Lewis, he does a lot of really, really questionable things on the basketball court. And I know that he didn't foul that 3-point shooter. The problem, though, is that this is your reputation kind of precedes you, though. And that when you foul 7 3-point shooters on the season, if a guy falls down around you, you're going to get that call. KJ's been bad. I don't know what else to say.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, it's just a situation where he's just not good enough right now. And again, it's what we say, Mike. If you're not going to help the team, certain games, there's ways around it. Just don't hurt the team. KJ is hurting the team right now.
Right.
Last game against Iowa State, he hurt Arizona.
Yeah, he hurt the team. And the problem, though, too, is, and I think basically his season has been he's probably going to tweet at me or whatever. But I think his season was essentially summed up by committing a foul and then telling Tommy Lloyd, no, I'm good. Don't take me out. And then you proceed to foul before the ball is even inbounded. I mean, what are we doing, dude?
I just want to shout out 24/7 evaluators too. I think that it's very.
We have a long way.
It's very clear that we nailed this ranking despite pressure from you and others to say that we did it, but we nailed the KJ Lewis ranking.
No, just like you nailed the Carter L. Bryant ranking of having him like 30.
Carter Bryant was 30, and he is. He's fine. Carter Bryant was ranked fine.
He's better than 30 or whatever it is.
He's ranked fine.
Yeah. All right. So either way, though, KJ Lewis. But like I said, I think the bigger problem. Let me ask you this. And we don't really know. And again, we're not. Do you think some of the hype got to KJ's head?
A little bit, yeah.
Yeah.
I do.
I kind of think that as well. Because...
I think that, and a lot of teenagers have this issue. But by the way, I'm looking at the rankings right now. Carter's perfectly placed.
25,
28, maybe 2, 3.
28? No, he's not.
Mike, I got to read this list of freshmen to you. And
there's not 27 better prospects in the country in that class. There's just not.
It's close. It's close. And I love Carter, but what were we saying? Yeah, I think a lot of times kids, men, whatever you want to call them, KJ's age, position, and all that, think they're a lot better than they really are. And I always laugh because they go to the NBA and they find out very quickly they're not what they think they are. Right? Like right. I'm sure there's a little bit. And I also wonder if KJ declared last year and they said, dude, you got to do this, this, and this better. And now he's really trying to do those things better, even though that's sometimes not what Arizona wants him to do.
Yeah, Joseph, you're wrong. If you're Carter, you're absolutely come back. Let's see here. Why are players regressing? Nicholas Ibarra, the great Nicholas Ibarra. See, I don't agree with that premise. There are players that have regressed. We got to talk about Henry Basar is way better than I think anybody, including obviously myself, thought he could have been. Tobe Awaka, the same exact thing. I don't think that anybody could have thought Tobe, would have become this. Now there are some players. KJ Lewis has not gotten any better. Whether you want to put that on the coaching staff, whether you want to put that on Tommy Lloyd, it is what it is. But players here have progressed. I mean, just look at it. Look at when Umar Ballo, leader of men, came in here. Look at what he left at. Look what he's doing now at Indiana. He was the best.
What would the argument be? No player.
What's that?
Who regressed? KJ didn't regress. Did he?
Caleb's regressed.
How much?
Dude, you just said it yesterday on the.
I said last.
You said definitely.
Caleb, in my opinion, is better than this year's Caleb. But when you look at the numbers,
Cody literally said, I got the exact text.
Yeah.
He said, "Is Caleb regressed?" And you said, "Absolutely."
Cody doesn't use the word regressed.
Cody, bring up the exact thing. He did.
I'm going to bring it up right now. Cody doesn't use the word regressed.
All right, bring the bring.
I know Cody.
Right.
Cody and I, we go way back.
Bring it up. It's exactly what he said. That's exactly what you said. Prim, very, very funny. Yes, he's regressed, and I love Caleb Love. Caleb Love, here's what it was. Nobody batted an eye when Caleb Love was named an All-American last year. Guess what? Everybody would bat an eye if Caleb Love was named an All-American this year. Is this fair?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Fair enough. So again, that's what it was. Sheer, what was your exact quote on Caleb Love, or do I have to bring this up? Because Sheer is now.
Cody just sent it to us.
What was the exact, hold on. Let's, Cody. All right. We're going to read.
We think Love is better this year than last year. And I said, definitely not.
Yeah.
Cody doesn't use the word regressed. Cody doesn't use the word.
Who cares? You said definitely not, and then you're like, and then you try.
I just said that.
No, you tried to say, I guess a little bit. No, it's been marked.
What's the differences between last year and this year? It's 2% shooting.
No, dude, you know it when you see it. There's when way too many games that he just hasn't taken over. He's just been out there. Last year
he's regressed. I just don't think he's having. Regress is like you're considerably worse than you were last year. Caleb this year is the same dude he's always been.
No, he's not.
Yes, he
was an All-American last year. He was an All-American last year. Is he an All-American this year?
No.
Is he even close to an All-American this year?
He shot 40% from the field.
No, again, no. He's an All-American last year. Is he even close to an All-American this year?
No, and there's probably one giant reason why, Mike.
Why?
They're in a different conference.
It doesn't matter. Out of conference, he was terrible too. It didn't matter. He
played in the Pac-12, Mike.
But again, last year out of conference and this year out of conference, he was a lot better out of conference last year than he was this year. He was dropping 28 on Purdue. He was terrible. I mean, it is what it is.
I'm going to look at this too. I'm going to look at this too.
All right.
Out of conference last year? You could be right. I just don't know.
Everybody in the comments.
11 points.
Everybody in the comments is saying that he was clearly worse. That he's clearly worse this year.
Duke, he had 11 points.
Okay.
Michigan State, he had 17 on 7 of 20 shooting.
Okay.
Wisconsin, he was great. He had 20. Purdue, he was great. He had 29. Mm-hmm. Alabama, he had 13.
Mm-hmm.
Florida Atlantic, he had 26 on 8 of 26 shooting. Remember that game? Like it was a stop shooting. That was his out of conference.
Mm-hmm. Okay, I'm just saying he was better last year. He was an All-American. Everybody says I win this argument, so take it. There you go, Sheer. I win this argument. All right, now. Anyways, let's get ahead to a little bit, though, because we do at least have something good going for us, and we need to be able to talk about this. But first, we got to talk also about something that's even better, Baggins. Baggins. Everybody go to Baggins. Everybody go to Baggins. Listen, get there, go code AZ12, and, look at Jesse Bridges. Mike brought Green Valley Decorative Rock to this fight, and Sheer brought scissors. Loser. Okay, now, either way, check it out. Baggins, what do you always get, Sheer? You get the sundown?
Yeah, the other day I switched up. I got a Rubin. It was pretty good.
Yes. Yes. And again, use code AZ12 for 15% off. Join the text club as well. And again, they got a new app or something, but you got to use code AZ12. And again, Dennis Walsh says code AZ12. Tell the cashier that they need to back out the order screen to find the code and get the cowboy. Yeah. Back the cowboy. All right. Benwin White's motto. Okay. Use code AZ12 for 15% off. All right. Now, what else we got? And again, start shooting them out. Oh, I can't see anything.
Whoa.
I saw nothing. Cody, are you there? Oh, he's back. Arizona primary eye care. Arizona. I still back Caleb Love, by the way. I'm just saying that he's not.
I hate Arizona.
He's just not as good this year. It is what it is. Okay, Arizona but he is going to destroy ASU. We're going to get to that in a second. Arizona primary eye care, though. Check it out. 60+ insurances. Now we got to get their schedules. You got 4 offices, even one in Douglas, and you even got one in Douglas. Check it out. Arizona primary eye care, though, and 60+ insurances. And again, you can get these cool glasses. Either way, check it out. And again, you will thank me later. We very much like Cheryl. She is fantastic. Let's get them going. And also makes us look really good as well. You get very cool glasses. You get very bland glasses. Either way, check it out. Okay, now. And again, Arizona primary eye care. They are only about necessary treatment, as Dennis Walsh just said, and this has been an underrated fact. They won't remove your eyelids there. They're not going to just try to get rid of your eyelids.
God.
For no reason. That's what we do around here. It's all necessary. You don't remove your tongue. They don't remove your eyelids. They don't do any of that stuff. Okay. Yeah. Okay. So now let's talk a little bit about ASU, and then we're going to get to something where I'm gonna take the young bucks to task here. But yeah, you young bucks, you. I think Arizona. I expect Arizona to beat the snot out of ASU. ASU is getting Arizona. I hate when the eye doctor removes my eyelids. It's terrible when it happens. I expect Arizona to beat the snot out of ASU. I really do. I think ASU is in free fall. I think now, like, everyone's like, Red Wines is like, hey, you still want Saint on? No! And I think ASU is going to lose this game by a lot. I don't think they're very good. And I think that I think they're in for, this is the epitome of that they asked for the paw and they're about to get the glove.
Yeah. From what I understand, Quaintance is doubtful. Adam Miller will probably play. They have no size at all. Arizona's going to beat the crap out of them inside. The only chance ASU have is if it's like the Texas Tech game where every 3 they shoot is going in from wherever they shoot it from. I don't see that happening. I think Arizona wins this game by 15 points.
Yeah, I think Arizona wins this game.
Is this Bobby Hurley's last game in McHale, Mike?
It has to be, right? Well, I can't wait to ask Kyle Dodd that tomorrow. He won't answer, but I can't wait to ask him that.
You know, Cartman, your buddy Cartman,
my guy,
an interesting question on the website, which makes me think that he's backing off it a little bit. If Quaintance, Sainin, and Amir Ali went to Graham Rossini and said, "If Bobby's here, we'll come back next year."
No, it wouldn't matter to me. You're not going to be good either way. I don't make decisions based off players. If I know that Bobby Hurley's not that player or that coach, I get rid of him. I don't ever make that decision based off of a player, ever.
I agree with you.
Yeah, and besides what? And let's just say Quaintance comes back. By the way, Prim and Joseph, if you two aren't following each other on Twitter, you guys would love each other. You should. Okay, but yeah, I don't care about that. Like, if Saint-On comes back, cool. If
Quaintance basketball and the transfer portal, whatever new coach you hire is going to land 3 or 4 transfers immediately.
Yeah, exactly. I would not. No, I would have no bearing on it. Bobby Hurley isn't the guy, and on top of that, too, the other thing too is that Bobby Hurley's also embarrassing. That's what I keep coming back to.
For you, maybe. I'm not embarrassed by him.
Well, I mean, if I were an ASU fan, I'd be embarrassed by this guy. This guy's, and again, he lost me, and I'm going to bring this up to Dodd tomorrow. He lost me entirely when he started calling out other players. That's where it was like, dude, and he didn't back away from it either. I have a massive problem.
You know how, like, after Caleb Love made the shot against Iowa State, I said Iowa State, we both said Iowa State was going to beat the crap out of Arizona.
Yeah.
Like, done deal. as soon as Bobby Hurley opened up his mouth and said what he said about Arizona and classlessness and Caleb Love, that they lost that game that moment. I think Bobby gets tomorrow. I really do.
I think
it is going to be ugly in McHale tomorrow.
And we do agree that the term, a lot of people ask, where did the term come from? You mess with the paw, you get the glove. This is where the term came from.
Our study, by the way.
Yes. Oh, we got a super snap. There was some guy that was complaining about me nonstop, and he said that you don't have to read the super snaps immediately. No, I do.
Yes, we do. You know why we do that? Because we
it's our show.
It's our way of thinking to people.
Yeah, exactly. We like people. And again, I like the same people that complain about the show. They're always in the comments complaining about the show. Then don't watch if you don't like it. It's easy.
Always my thing. I have that problem on Twitter. It's like, oh, I hate it. And they always come at me. It's like, I'm not making you follow me.
You don't have to follow me. You don't have to watch the show. Nobody cares.
We're just irresistible, Mike.
Yeah, no, we are. Yeah. Hustle and motivate, baby. Nipsey Hussle in the house, babe. By the way,
even if you have a negative comment, any comments help with the algorithm and stuff. So negative comments still help.
I do think that one that posted was a burner from somebody, and I do believe that
I nailed that one.
Yeah, you did nail that one. I think we know exactly.
100%.
Yeah, that we know who that one is for sure. So be careful with your burners. I already got Dax Trujillo, who stopped tweeting for the last 3 days.
These kids, they're going to learn a lesson, Mike. You know what that lesson is? You want to tell people what that lesson is?
You mess with the paw, you got the glove.
It's a world. I wrote a letter to Nike. You know how they have special March shirts?
Mm-hmm.
I don't remember what they're going to be this year.
Right.
Mess with the paw, you get the glove. I'm trying to get that for Arizona.
My favorite thing is Wildcat MD, who was harassing me for years in the Zona podcast. So now I've been outing him on Twitter, doxing, and he's just stopped tweeting. Take that. No, Prim, you don't count as a burner. Your name's on there. Hunting Arizona. Hashtag enjoy the process. 199. Does Arizona close out the season with 2 wins? I'm back in the A. I think Arizona does.
I don't.
You like Kansas?
I just think Kansas senior day going on the road.
Right.
Your seating's probably already decided. Yeah.
Fair enough. Yeah. You don't back the A then. Exactly.
Yeah,
okay. All right.
I gotta find out the rest.
All right. Here's my problem with the Young Bucks.
My ref source.
What's that?
I'm gonna text my ref source right now.
Okay. Yeah. I messaged Murph.
Is there any chance it's Padilla?
No. I messaged Murph today, and it's funny because I know that he got it, but by the way, blocking Kobe's a burner depending on the day of the week. No way, Kobe's awesome, guy. Prim, you should like Kobe, and Kobe, you should like Prim. You guys both root for the same.
Yeah, we need to bring people together.
Yeah, no, yeah. Be nice to Kobe. And again, Kobe, here's what I'm going to say. If you guys want to criticize Kobe for his, his takes or whatever, because some of them suck. But Kobe is all-time loyal. I very much appreciate Kobe. So very much, this is one of those ones. If you get personal with Kobe, the glove will come out, as will the paw. Both at the same time.
Whoa, that's one thing. You kids have no idea.
But by the way,
I'm going to say you kids now, like we're old.
Yeah, I know. All right, here's my problem.
Kids.
Here's my problem. Here's my problem with the kids. Is that the kids? Yeah, the kids. I gotta walk it up.
Oh, you little kids.
Yeah, it was funny. One kid came up to me at the watch party. He's like, "I expected you to be a lot older than you are older." And I'm like, and then he asked me how old I am. I'm like, "Don't worry about it." But anyways, Prim also had the best tweet on Twitter all of last year. So everything I'm about to make fun of Prim for and all the Young Bucks, just remember that it comes from a point of admiration. How about that? All right. You guys are wrong about something. Two things. First of all of you guys that are going crazy about Tommy and the standard. I don't know. I love the standard that we expect.
You don't know the standard.
We expect Final Fours. None of you were alive the last time Arizona made a Final Four. Period. Or if you were, you were like 2 years old. When I grew up, we expected a Final Four every single 4 years. That's basically what it was. I will tell you this, though, 100%. You all would have been going absolutely crazy about Lute Olson. Do not give me the whole thing about, well, there was no standard before, so we would have lived with it. No. After Arizona made a Final Four, and they're getting boat raced in the first round and back-to-back years by East Tennessee State, Santa Clara. The Santa Clara game was one of the biggest upsets in NCAA basketball history. It was way worse than the Clemson performance not the Clemson, well, that one too, but it was way worse than the Princeton performance. I guarantee you that by a mile, because that Arizona team had two lottery picks, one of the two best small forwards in school. No, Princeton was not worse. No, Princeton was not worse. You're showing your age right now. Go look at that Arizona roster in 1993. I almost died that day from a chicken bone, chewing on a chicken bone, and I choked on it. I was like 11 at the time, but go look at that roster. That Arizona roster was one of the 6 or 7 best teams in school history. They would have absolutely annihilated that Arizona team with Kerr Kriisa and Julius Tabellis.
Stoudemire, Mills, Geary, right?
Yeah. You had 4 NBA guys and Electron Vibes. Steve Nash, he was a freshman or a sophomore, and he was a bit player. And there was some surfer guy in the front court it was like Pete Eisenhuth or something that had like 19 and 10. It absolutely was far worse. Anybody that lived it will be able to tell you that was far worse. East Tennessee State.
Do you think Arizona fans would have made it to that first game? Because he only went, I mean, I know that he was rebuilding a program, but they were eliminated in the first round the first 3 years.
Yeah, I think they would have, because there was no standard before that, and that is actually a standard. Okay, your standard, Nicholas Ibarra, is we have a standard from the Sean Miller era. Well, it ain't making Final Fours. That ain't your standard. That's where that's where it annoys me with these young bucks. But you would have all been going crazy. Absolutely, Prim, I love you, but you would have absolutely been going crazy with Lute Olson after Santa Clara, and a lot of you would have been calling him for being fired because he had multiple first-round exits, massive upsets, round of 32, one Sweet 16. You would have been going crazy. Boom.
By the way, and I know Sean made the Elite Eight in his second year, but then he followed it with the NIT, right? Yeah.
He didn't make the tournament 2 of his first 3 years. Like, I don't know. All I'm saying is that you guys would have been, if you had lived it, you would have been going crazy. I guarantee you that.
Mike, Arizona is still ranked.
What's Bruce have him ranked?
I don't know because it just dropped, but Arizona is still ranked.
Prim, you're wrong about this. There is not one. Again, I got to beat. Listen, this is where I feel old, but Prim, Arizona's team last year was better than the team that lost to Princeton. Stop. It just is. They have not this argument that Arizona's got.
Sucked.
That team
roster.
That team was honestly Tommy's best coaching job. That roster was terrible. So, I mean, last year's team would have beat the previous year's team. So this whole argument that the team has gotten worse each year, no, they haven't. So it is what it is.
Look at you.
And I got one other thing too, and then we got to get into yes. Now, we got to what did Cody just text?
Nudes. He didn't text anything. He texted you, not me.
Oh, top basketball recruits. Oh, whatever.
Oh, that was me. I want you to take a look at the list later. It's not as crazy as you think.
Okay. All right. Well, we got to get to some reads here first. We got to pay some bills because, again, if I'm going to turn off all the viewers, all the young bucks, then we at least need to get paid while we're doing it. Prim, all of you guys, I love you. But at the same time, Javier, keep this remark up from Javier. We're going to talk about Javier in here in a second. But first, Aeris Dental. Now, it was put out there again. It's been put out there many, many times that at Aeris Dental, they will not remove your tongue. A lot of times you go. What's that?
What if you ask for it though?
Well, I mean, maybe they will. Land the man with the master plan would maybe. I mean, if anybody could do it. But either way, this is all kinds of good stuff though. They got the championship special. All these kids that are complaining about everything, not alive for that. The championship special. All right, but you can get dental implants for $19.97 and a crown. Maybe you're one of these people, maybe you're one of these kids that vape and you think somehow it's good for you. There are kids, I think, that think it's good for them. But you can also, though, and let's say, man, all of that vaping has caused you to need a dental implant. You can go there to Aeris Dental and get it for $19.97, my friend. Yes, dental implants at affordable rates. Daily urgent care, and again, huge, only necessary treatment. Only necessary treatment. Boom. That was good. All right. Now, let's see here. What else we got? Okay. Michael Rubin. Oh, we got all kinds of good stuff here. Now we got code. We got to switch the code word. It's now code Deron Johnson. So all you guys in there, you have no clue who Deron Johnson is. All right. If you are looking to buy or refinance, reach out to the Rubin Group, my friends. He can help you get pre-qualified for a home loan, help answer your questions, such as how do you purchase price, how high of a purchase price can you go up to? This is the guy that knows all of this stuff. What does payment plans look like? And again, here's the really good deal. What loan programs are available to you, especially the Lighthouse Assistance Program? He can go all over all the numbers if you want to tap into your equity and do a cash out refinance and pay off your debt so you can save money on those pesky monthly payments. For instance, by taking out $60K in equity, your monthly payment may go up $130, but you also may be able to pay off $600 car payment. All kinds of good stuff. He can also re-help finance if your current rate is 7% or higher. Check it out. Michael Rubin at the Rubin Group. We like him. Yes, anybody that knows Deron Johnson in this chat. Okay, now, all right, let's see here. Our Javier. Javier is bringing up John Calipari. We're in different times. Calipari got run out of Kentucky, and we won a championship. All right. I need to also be very clear about something here. You kids like talking about the standard, okay? John Calipari brought it right now. Sorry. Yeah, the standard. I love that. That's the new term, the standard. All the Gen Zers bring up the standard, and it's a standard they didn't live for. Okay, so Javier, times are different. Calipari got run out of Kentucky and he won one championship. He was there for 15 years. He won one championship, and he recruited at the best level ever. He was also bounced 3 straight times in the first round with teams that were basically loaded with top 5 recruits. That thing was done. That thing wasn't going anywhere. They made the right decision, and I think that you also see, too, that John Calipari kind of stinks. He brought that same thing to Arkansas. Arizona and Kentucky standards are not the same standards. They are just not. Arizona is not Kentucky. Arizona is not Duke. Arizona is not North Carolina. You're in that second group, and guess what? There's nothing wrong with that, but you are not in that first group. You're not going to have the same standards at Kentucky you do at Arizona. Am I wrong?
No, you're right. I was just letting you.
I mean, you just aren't. We don't have Kentucky standards. I do it. All right. Well, you know what, Prim? If you have Kentucky standards, then Kentucky.
We don't have Kentucky standards.
Yeah, Kentucky has 8
Arizona's
national
won
champions.
one national title in its history.
Yeah.
Kentucky's
Arizona
national titles.
Kentucky, dude, forgets about national championships.
How many do they have?
Tubby Smith won a national championship.
They have 8. They have 8 championships. They're the winningest program of all time. Literally.
Yeah. They're not the same. This is like, you know what this is like saying? This is like I'm trying to think. This is like saying that let's say you're a Washington football fan. It's like saying that you have Alabama standards. I think that's actually a fair comparison, no?
Yeah, it's what are we doing here? I mean, it's
right. It is what it is. Okay.
He asked an interesting question. I'm curious about your opinion because I find Prim asked if you think that this season is a failure or a success. I don't know how you answer that right now, but
Oregon doesn't either, Prim. I don't know. I don't know.
I answer it right now without the tournament starting, but I don't see the failure in it. Arizona.
I mean, if you want to go right now, they should. I think we all thought they'd be better. So yeah, if you want to say that, sure. But the season isn't over yet, though. Everybody is always getting on Tommy Lloyd. They're always saying, "Well, we don't care about the regular season. We only care about the tournament." So if you only care about the tournament, then it is what it is. The season's not over yet, Joseph, but I just said it's a disappointment. If you want to stop right now, then yeah, sure. But again, the same people that are saying that this all matters come regular, or the only thing that matters is postseason, it is what it is. We'll find out. All right, now let's see here. What else are we going to get to? All right, but I wanted to get that also. Everybody out there, go look at Danny Hurley's first 4 seasons at UConn. There's a guy out here with a Tommy Lloyd. He wants to get he wants Tommy Lloyd fired. I brought up a UConn, and he says, well, that's different because Danny Hurley's a leader. Tommy Lloyd isn't a leader.
We should do that one day on our show. Primo's, I don't want to get into it now, but he said Arizona program's top 10. We've talked about this before off air.
I think it's closer to about 10 to 15, but if you want to say fringe top 10, I'm cool with that.
Because there's programs too, like is Louisville a better program?
Louisville's a better program than Arizona, yes.
Right. So that, you're talking about programs like that, where I think that most younger generation would say that Louisville is not a better program, but then you take a look at the history and you realize it kind of is.
Louisville, it's not even close. Louisville's got 3 national championships and I think like 12 Final Fours. I mean, heck, Rick Pitino had more Final Fours there than Arizona has all time. So, I mean, it is what it is. Kobe L. Thiel. This is always Louisville is not equal-ish. Louisville also has a lot more money. You keep lowering the standards. No, I'm telling you that Louisville is a better basketball program. It is by any metric. You go by any metric.
It absolutely is.
You go by any metric, my man. I mean,
remember when they reminded you of that? Shout out Russ Kennel.
Oh gosh, yeah, that was So I mean, here's the one. Let's just go with the ones that are clearly better.
We are doing this. All right.
We could do this tomorrow a little bit too. Let's see here.
Duke.
All right, Dennis Walsh just did the work for us.
I got a good one, though.
Kansas, North Carolina, Duke. I don't know. No, I disagree with Indiana. I think
I do too. I think Indiana's burned it.
I think Indiana kind of sucks. Louisville, UConn, and we are in that next debate with Michigan State. Michigan State's a little bit better.
I got a hot one for you. Florida or Arizona?
I'll go Arizona because it was sustained success. I would go Arizona. But again, schools like UConn, clearly better. Schools like Louisville, it's just better. UCLA, you want to say UCLA, cool. But again, Arizona's around 10, somewhere in there, and there's nothing wrong with that. All right. Let's see here. Gonzaga, no, definitely not. But Villanova,
I don't know, because
Villanova is interesting because they've got the 3 titles, but I think Arizona's prestige is every bit as equal as.
I would agree with that.
Yeah.
But did you put Michigan State ahead of Arizona?
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah,
a little bit, but it's clear. It's clear. I mean,
and a lot of times it's hard, guys. Like, is Michigan State better, or is it like what happens when Tom Izzo leaves? Right, like a lot of programs like that, like
they're a little bit.
Now they're awful.
They're a little bit different. They're different than like the Marylands and the Georgetowns, though, because they're a 2-coach school. They won a championship before. They got Magic. You got, so there's, so there's that. Okay, now, we're going to get to, and we're not comparing Arizona and Kentucky. If Kentucky is your standard here at Arizona, then I don't know what to say. Baylor's not better. No. Okay.
Absolutely not. No.
Yeah, definitely not. Okay. Now, let's get a couple reads in here, and we got to talk a little bit of MNFL football because Arizona's doing some good things. Okay. But first. Signature Pest Solutions. Signature Pest Solutions. Okay, everybody go out there. Now, you might say, Mike Luke, he's a pest. But they will not remove me from my house, I guess, unless it's like court ordered or something like that. No, Sergio, you're wrong about that one. Signature Pest Solutions. Why choose us? Because, again, they've got the best deals, and you can get $100 off termite treatment, Easy 12, or 50% off pest control. And again, the folks there do an amazing job. We got to get them more business, everybody. It makes us look better if you go over there. Do them. They're great. And bed bug elimination, rodent control, weed control, ants, roaches. And again, termite season is coming. Get that preventative maintenance in there as well. Signature Pest Solutions. And again, the phone number, 520-392-4360, signaturepestsolutions.com. Absolutely check them out. You will not be sorry. And one other one.
Yes. Yep.
Yeah. Andre Aeris
speaks for himself.
I just think at some point we just need to turn this read into Andre Aeris. But again, we got to be very clear about something. We cannot endorse Andre Aeris. But we can highly recommend Andre Aeris because, again, personalized, comprehensive financial planning, tailored retirement income strategies, distinctive wealth management, highly certified, and Andre Aeris is very, very successful in life. Be like Andre Aeris. Again, that's not a endorsement. That is a highly recommended recommendation and professional chartered financial consultant. Something I would not even know how to get through the first chapter of a book. Check it out. Longview Insurance and Investments. I'm actually, in the Big 12 right now, Arizona's going to be what, the 3 seed?
3 or 4.
Yeah, in conference, I don't think it's a disappointing. Out of conference was a disaster. I mean, so also I've got a take here. I believe that Arizona. I believe that the Big 12 is going to advance more teams than the SEC. We will see when this comes. Also, Shearer, you bought into the Big 10 BS. Do you want to apologize?
No, I thought when I've seen Michigan, they've looked pretty good, and
sucked.
they were absolutely terrible. Was it last night? Yeah, yesterday. They were awful. Illinois whooped them.
Right. They suck.
Very exciting for us.
Yeah, and dude, that's a slow white team. That just is. Okay.
I don't look at the past, Mike.
All right, that's fine. All right, now let's talk a little bit about the MNFL draft. Arizona could very well have 2 guys picked in the first round of the MNFL draft. And the first thing, let's be honest here, I was in no way, shape, or form, and I don't think that you are either. The fact that Jonas Savanea tested out of the park, duh, could have told you that, duh. Anybody that lets Jonas Savanea get out of the first round is dumb.
Yeah, it's very interesting too, because they also started to say what we said after he ran, which is that he's a guard. I think he's a guard all the way.
I agree with that.
In the NFL, all the way. I think it's awesome that he was able to play tackle for Arizona, but yeah, he's a freak. Like he's going to be I don't know if he's going to be an NFL Hall of Fame or anything like that, but Jonas Savanea
is a day. You know what? 10 years. You know what he is? He is a day one plug and play for the next 12 years.
Him or Jordan Morgan, who do you think is a better NFL prospect, assuming they're both healthy and all that?
Ooh, that's a good one.
Yeah.
I
don't think there's a big.
The tackle position is more important, but if you were to ask me this, who has more, say, Pro Bowls, I would go with Jonah. I think the thing about Jonah that is so unique is that Jonah looks different than everybody, including Jordan Morgan. Like I remember when we were at the presser or whatever in Jed.
Yeah, the first time we saw Jonah.
Yeah, and then he's just like, dude, this guy doesn't belong. This is not the kind of guy that belongs at Arizona. He shows up as a 17-year-old. He's 330 pounds and he has ab muscles. Like,
well, I mean, it's
like me.
It wasn't. I think it was. I don't remember who it was, but you always look for the eye test, right? The coming off at which he looks the best coming off the bus, basically.
Right.
And Jonah, when you see him, is just
different. Jonah's different even than T-Mac. T-Mac, I would pick T-Mac over him, obviously, but Jonah looks. There's other receivers that look like T-Mac, kind of. There's really nobody that looks like Jonah. Jonah's just a freak.
Yeah.
So let's see here. So you've got that. Yes. Jesse Britches, you absolutely can endorse Andre Veras. We can. You can just highly recommend. T-Mac, though, he had some Wonderlick thing or whatever where it said he's a genius. That didn't surprise me.
Yeah.
Right. And then this was asked, how many guys do you think, let's see here, from last year's team will be in the MNFL? So that's a great question, actually. So we got T-Mac, we got Jonah, we got Tyler Loop, our guy, who outed Jed Fish. Good work. Who else do we have? Genesis eventually. Do we count Shakori Krosky merit? I guess we do, right?
Absolutely.
He definitely merits a mention. Also, hit the like and the subscribe button. Bop, bop, bop. Who else?
Can we claim him?
You know my opinion on Takario.
But if he gets drafted, he'll get drafted. Probably.
We'll see. I'm going to be curious to see how Takario does this year. I'm going to be curious to see how he does.
No, I agree.
Because I could see him bouncing back, actually. Let's see here. I think Dalton will have a chance. Montana. I think Montana. No, not Montana. Get out of here. Let's see here. Probably about it. I don't know. Maybe trading.
We claim Wendell Moy. How does that work? How does this work?
Absolutely. Oh, we claim Wendell Moy. Yeah, Wendell Moy will play in the NFL. Here's kind of my guess, and I could be wrong on this, but I'm also guessing that Wendell Moy is going to be a bad look for Josh Oglesby. Because if he goes to Tennessee and he's really good, like,
yeah.
Oh, yes, we absolutely claim Moy. Also, Palmer. Oh, Pehoff. No Patterson. Well, I mean, that goes without saying.
That goes without saying. Yeah, we just assumed you guys would know that.
Yeah, you know how quickly we brushed off T-Mac. Is it obvious? We also got the same thing with
same stratosphere.
Yeah. Also, real quick, let's see, Jeremiah Patterson and Joseph. Has anybody taken a bigger L than Joseph with Jeremiah Patterson?
I didn't want to bring it up again because it's embarrassing, but no,
dude. No. All he would talk about all offseason was he said that he thought he might even be better than T-Mac. And again, we like him, but it wasn't that far. Joseph, it wasn't that far. Patterson reminds me of Devontae Smith. That's kind of where Joseph was going with that, and I just don't get it.
Devontae Smith reminds me of Jeremiah Patterson.
Right. Yes. Mike, if you're now look at Joseph now.
Now Joseph's a fan. Is that in one game, Joseph?
Yeah, Joseph, don't backtrack now after what you said all year, Mike. If Jeremiah Patterson has more than 400 yards, I'll buy his jersey.
It's like 2 games, dude.
Dude, what did he have last year? Before we sign off, real quick, what were Jeremiah Patterson's stats?
He didn't have 400 yards, did he?
No, definitely not. I think it was but he was a touchdown machine, though.
He had 196 yards, and he had 2 touchdowns. He had a touchdown for every 13 catches.
Yeah. That's why they needed to get him the ball more.
That means he's on pace for what?
Yes. Shane, you're doing this wrong. Shane Simmons. Any player who finishes a career at U of A or played more than 2 years, we claim. Yes. Oh, you are right. Yes. Ja'Cory Krosky-Merritt.
I go 1 year. Maybe one game.
No, I go 1 game, man. It doesn't matter if you lie. And here's the thing.
Once you back the A for life.
I thought about putting this on the board. Maybe I will. Has there been anybody that we should support more than Ja'Cory Krosky-Merritt? Because he lied to try to get into the University of Arizona.
He lied back in the A.
This guy and John Button Salmon, one guy died backing the A. The other guy lied backing the A.
I guess some people were offended when I first said that.
I think it's great.
Died backing the A.
He did. He did. Yes. We don't have to claim anybody we don't want. It's just Shane. If we don't want, I don't want to claim Price Lock.
I claim Cam Newton. He took an official visit here.
No, Brian Blackmore. What about? That's what we should start doing. We should start claiming people just to see what other fan bases get pissed off. We should start claiming other players that just visited here.
Silent commits. Claim those too. You were committed at one point.
They were a silent commit. Yeah, their heart was here. Yes, exactly. Yes. All right. Yes. All right. We got to sign off a little bit. Or Bijan, Arizona Wildcats. Great.
He goes to more Arizona games now than he does Texas.
Oh gosh.
By the way, did you see Cleo had his last game a couple weeks ago?
No. Cleo's the best. Hey, do we claim Cruz Rush?
Yeah, let's not go too far here.
By the way, real quick, I think we are going to be so vindicated after this coming year.
Who's your Wildcat cruiser?
Dude, I was looking at I was on the Oregon message boards the other day, and again, they're not allowed to say anything. Dude, there is no talk of him whatsoever. Literally none. So
future Arizona Wildcat Elijah Rushing.
We would have to push back against that, though.
Well, it's going to happen. Not because prediction right now. Check in a year.
Not because of the kid. That's a headache we don't need.
Yeah. Shea Patterson, good call.
Shea Patterson, absolutely.
Absolutely. He was so intent on backing the A. His brother got on a plane in the middle of the night just to disappear.
Yes. No, it is what it is. So, all right. On that note, though, Sheer, where can they find you doing your stuff?
WildcatAuthority.com, the Wildcat Scoop podcast with Shelby, and I'm going to hang out with Bruce at a press conference.
Oh my gosh. And did you see that picture of that? Ask him about that woman staring at him. That was crazy. That was scandalous.
I'm going to ask him if he had a wild night, if you know what I'm saying.
Yeah. All right. For Mr. Jason Shear, I'm merely Michael Luke. You guys are all the best, even you young bucks. You're keeping me young. TTFN, we'll be back with you tomorrow. You've been listening to the AZ12 podcast.